I myself have gotten grad offers from Amazon and Google, as you can see over here. And in this video, I'm going over how YouTubers like Eric Kupsa, Kevin Naughton, Aman Manasser, how we actually get software engineering offers. And you might think that it's just about mass applying on this simplify repo over here, this exact one, trying to apply early, trying to get a referral whenever possible. But that could not be further from the truth. There's actually a new strategy that really the top candidates are using these days to get offers. And it's nothing like what you've heard of before. It's not optimizing your resume. It's not stuffing it with keywords. It's not using this simplify repo. It's not, trying to apply early. It's definitely not getting referrals. Referrals are just not that effective anymore. It's a completely new strategy. I've used it, other top YouTubers have used it, and I'm gonna break down how you can use it in this video. So what is that strategy that got me into Amazon and Google? Well, it's cold email. So I have this full guide on cold email. It's a 13-page guide. It's completely free. I'm not trying to sell you anything here. You can just leave a comment if you want access to this guide. I'll send it to you for free. And so cold email is really that number one strategy to get offers right now. And I'm not talking about DMing recruiters on LinkedIn. I'm talking about scraping their work email, getting into their actual work email inbox, just sliding straight into there and proving that you're a good fit for the role. I'm talking about cold email. And so in the rest of this video, there's a few things I'm gonna go over. Really a couple things. First, what do you even say in the email to stand out with your cold emails? What do you say to the recruiter? And then I'm gonna give you an example of how to find recruiter emails. And the strategy that I'm gonna show you will work for any company. But I'm gonna use Meta as an example. And this is gonna be later in the video. We're gonna go to Meta's LinkedIn page over here. We're gonna type in something like early talent. A bunch of recruiters come up. And I'm gonna show you how to actually find a recruiter's email. And again, this approach that I'm gonna teach you could really be used to find any recruiter's email address. So you'll really be able to take your cold email to the next level once you implement this strategy. So first things first, the template, right? What do you actually say in the email to actually get the attention of a recruiter? So I have a few different templates, one for intern roles, one for new grad roles, and one for early career software engineering roles. Let's go over the new grad one specifically. So what you say is, hi, first name, maybe Chris, if we're emailing our boy Chris Clark over here. I noticed you recruit for engineering at Meta, and I'm especially interested in whatever kind of roles, ML platform, backend, infra, whatever. And then here's one of the most important parts of the email. You need to drop a couple quick highlights from your resume. Really the two most impressive bullet points that you have on your resume, like the sexiest bullet points you have, drop them right there. You need to put them straight in the email for the recruiter to read. And I've actually tested this before. Back when I was going through the recruiting cycle, trying to get these offers, I was neurotic. I was testing so many different things trying to figure this out. So I tested putting 3 bullet points. I tested putting just 1 bullet point. And what actually works best is just putting 2 bullet points in the email. You've got to do that. And later in the video, I'll kind of hint as to how to actually pick those bullet points from your resume as well. This is the most optimized resume template over here. And so you put those 2 super impressive bullet points and you just say, hey, if you're the right contact, could you point me to the best rec to apply to? A rec is short for requisition, kind of just like the internal job posting, or the right recruiter for these roles. This part is so crucial. There were so many times back when I was going through the recruiting cycle, trying to get these new grad offers from Amazon and Google, where I would cold email a recruiter. Maybe I found their profile on LinkedIn, like I'm about to show you later in the video. And the recruiter said, hey, I'm not actually the right recruiter for a new grad. I actually recruit for, senior roles or intern roles or whatever. But then the recruiter was like, hey, I'm happy to forward your email to the recruiter who actually does new grad recruiting. And I was like, okay, bet. And then that other recruiter would reach out to me, set up a phone screen, and then boom, you're in the interview process. So this is so crucial with cold email. Always ask if you could be connected to the right recruiter for the role. And you're probably going for new grad SWE or early career or whatever. And then attach your resume as a PDF. That part is crucial. Thank you so much. Just keep it super clean and polite. And so it's pretty straightforward what you actually say in the email. The next part you need to understand, and this is probably the next part I'm about to go over, is probably the most important part of this entire video. It's actually finding recruiter emails. And so what you want to do is go to the Chrome Web Store, and there's a completely free extension called Apollo. Just search Apollo and download it. And what it does is it guesses the email address and phone number of anybody with 99.9% accuracy. I don't know how it works. It's absolutely insane. It is legal though, and it did get me offers from Amazon and Google, so I can guarantee that it actually works. And so let's say we search up Meta, just type in, go to Meta's LinkedIn profile, type in something like early talent, university recruiters, something like that. And I'm just going to click on our boy Chris Clark over here because he's one of the first recruiters that pop up. And let's say we want to reach out to him and be like, bro, you trying to slide me an interview? So once you have the Apollo Chrome extension installed, you're going to see this yellow button pop up on any person's LinkedIn profile that you're on. I'm going to go ahead and click it, and it's going to show me Chris's Meta email and even his personal Yahoo email. You could even get his phone number if you want, but I wouldn't recommend that. That's kind of creepy. Again, don't actually use the recruiter's phone number. Definitely don't email their personal email account. Just their work email is fine. Like personal is kind of, blurs the line of violating their privacy, but going ahead and messaging to their work email, totally chill. It's completely fine as long as you keep your emails professional. And I've done this. I've cold emailed hundreds and hundreds of recruiters, and not a single one has said something like, how'd you get my email address? This is a violation of my privacy. They don't care. In fact, you're actually making their life easier because you're literally doing their job for them. You're presenting yourself as a qualified candidate and saying, hey, I think I'd be a great fit for this role. And so it's completely fine to cold email recruiters. It's not illegal or anything like that. The ethics of it are completely fine. And it really is the best way to get new grad software engineering offers. I mean, it's the only thing that worked for me. I tried mass applying on this Simplify repo, sending out hundreds and hundreds of applications. If you're going for intern roles, you probably know the Pit CSC GitHub repo. Also didn't really work for me. Cold email is ultimately what got me these offers, and you've got to implement it as well. But there's one final crucial thing that you need to keep in mind, and you need to pay really close attention to this. Cold email will only work if your resume is super dripped out and super optimized. Because if you think about it here, in the template, we're saying something like, I'm attaching my resume as well as a PDF. And the recruiter is going to take a quick look through that, and the recruiter is going to decide whether or not to give you an interview based on that 5 to 10 second skim of your resume, right? Think about it this way. What cold email does is it gets us in front of the right person. We basically shove our resume in their face and they're like, hey, in 10 seconds, do you think I'm like, a good fit for an interview or not? And so cold email is only going to work if your resume is super, super iced out. If your resume is dog shit, you're not going to have any kind of success with cold email. You have to optimize your resume first before you even try cold email. And so I've actually made a full YouTube video on this channel. It should be popping up somewhere on the screen soon, that kind of breaks down this exact resume, every single section, bullet point by bullet point, the titles, the bullet points, the technical skills section. Again, that YouTube video should be popping up soon, so definitely give it a watch. And once you copy that resume template, you're going to have so many interviews, you're not going to know what to do with them. So go ahead and watch that video soon. I think YouTube is going to put it somewhere on the screen here, and I will see you there.